There is a business district in Shenzhen, China, packed with dozens of glass towers. Thousands of people walk through it every single day during one of the hottest summers on Earth. Look up at any of those buildings and you will not see a single air conditioning unit. No metal boxes. No humming machines hanging off the walls. Nothing. Yet walk inside any of those towers and the air is ice cold. So where is all that cold air coming from? The answer is hiding several stories under the ground, inside a place most people who work there do not even know exists. But that hidden secret is just the final piece of a much bigger puzzle. To get here, China had to survive a summer so brutal it nearly broke the entire country. And what they built afterward touches everything from the clouds in the sky to a tiny chip pressed against a person's neck. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how a whole city block can stay cold without a single normal air conditioner in sight. The summer that almost broke a country. In 2022, China went through a heat wave like nothing anyone had ever recorded. It did not last a few days. It lasted more than 2 months straight. Temperatures shattered records that had stood since 1961. Rivers dried up so badly that dry, cracked mud showed up in spots where boats used to float. Power plants that ran on rushing river water suddenly had almost no water to work with, so they could barely make electricity. Factories had to shut down completely. Not because workers went on strike, but because there simply was not enough power left to keep both the factories and people's homes cool at the same time. This is the trap with regular air conditioners. They need huge amounts of electricity to work. But a massive heat wave puts huge strain on the power grid. So the hotter it gets, the more air conditioners get switched on, and the closer the whole power system gets to collapsing, right when everyone needs it the most. China realized something important that summer. Building more air conditioners was not going to save them. They needed a completely different plan. And strangely enough, the first part of that plan started in the sky. If a story like this is new to you, now is a good time to hit subscribe. This channel is about to walk you through 6 wild ideas that most people have never heard of, and the biggest one is still coming later in this video. Tricks hiding in plain sight. The first move sounds like something out of a movie. China runs the largest rainmaking program on the entire planet. During the 2022 heat wave, they used rockets, aircraft, and even military-style drones to fire a special powder called silver iodide into the clouds. This powder tricks water vapor into freezing around it, forming ice crystals. Those crystals grow heavy, and then they fall as rain. This will not create a storm out of a clear sky, but it can squeeze extra rain out of clouds that were already full of moisture. Within days, some areas that were almost out of water were getting rain again. That rain cooled the air and refilled rivers the whole country depended on. The next trick is way older than rockets and drones. It is over 1,000 years old. In parts of southern China, old courtyard homes still stand today, with no fans and no machines at all, yet they stay cool through brutal summers. The secret is a tall, narrow gap cut straight through the middle of the house, open to the sky. Locals call it a sky well. Since warm air always rises, hot air drifts up and escapes out the top, while cool air stays low near the floor where people live. Engineers realize this old trick still works perfectly today. Some brand new skyscrapers now use tall air shafts built the same way, using nothing but rising air to help keep the building cool. Then there is the ground under your feet. Regular black roads soak up almost all the sunlight that hits them. By the afternoon, a road can get hot enough to burn skin. Cities like Shenzhen started repainting roads with special reflective coatings that bounce sunlight back into the sky instead of soaking it in. Some roads were even built to let a little water evaporate through them, cooling the surface the same way sweat cools your skin. These roads can be up to 14 degrees Celsius cooler than a normal road under the same sun. Even rooftops got a strange upgrade. Scientists created a special white paint that cools a building without using any electricity at all. This paint bounces away almost all sunlight, and it also releases heat in a very specific way that escapes straight through the sky into outer space, which is always freezing cold. Buildings painted with this coating have measured indoor temperatures dropping by around 10 degrees Celsius using zero power. To understand how all of these pieces connect together, we need to go underground, right into the heart of the mystery this whole video started with. The machine hiding beneath the city. Picture a normal city block. Every single building has its own air conditioning system, its own machines, its own wasted electricity, all fighting the exact same heat separately. Engineers in China looked at this and asked a simple question. Why not build one giant, super efficient machine to cool an entire area at once, instead of thousands of small ones fighting alone? That idea is called district cooling, and in Shenzhen, it works on a massive scale. Several floors underground sits a facility so large it has been compared to an entire factory floor, roughly the size of a football field. Inside are giant pumps, pipes, and chillers working together non-stop. Their only job is making huge amounts of cold water, then sending that water through pipes buried under the streets into every building nearby. Each tower connects to this system almost like a house connects to a city water line. Cold water flows in, soaks up heat from inside the building, then flows back out to get chilled all over again. This single underground system covers about 3 square kilometers of buildings. It reportedly saves close to 130 million kilowatt-hours of electricity every single year. That is roughly the same as leaving 16,000 tons of coal unburned, and it keeps about 130,000 tons of carbon dioxide out of the air annually. That is the real answer to the mystery from the start of this video. No visible air conditioners, because the real one is buried underground, quietly cooling an entire district at once. But even the biggest underground machine on Earth cannot help someone standing outside on a sidewalk with nowhere to hide from the sun. So, what happens to them? Cooling the people, not just the buildings. At bus stops, subway entrances, and busy public squares across China, small standalone units now blast out cool air directly onto people walking by. A lot of these run on solar power, which is oddly perfect, since the hottest part of the day is also when solar panels make the most electricity. The very sunlight causing the heat ends up powering the fix. But the smallest and maybe most surprising invention of all fits in your pocket. Small wearable coolers have exploded in popularity across China. Some look like headphones that wrap around the back of your neck. Others are handheld fans with a tiny water tank that sprays a fine cooling mist. Some jackets even have built-in fans stitched right into the fabric. The neck-worn ones are the most clever. They press a small, cold metal plate against the back of your neck, right where a major blood vessel sits close to your skin. That spot lets the device pull heat out of your entire body quickly, not just cool your neck. In a country where so much daily life happens outdoors in extreme heat, these devices are not really toys. Heat stroke is a serious danger every single summer, and a small device that can cool someone down instantly could genuinely save a life. So this is not really a story about air conditioners at all. It is a story about a country that looked at heat as a giant shared problem, then solved it at every single level, from the clouds above the country all the way down to the back of one person's neck. If this video changed the way you look at a plain rooftop or a stretch of pavement, tap that like button and subscribe so you catch the next one. Turn on notifications too, because summers are only getting hotter, and there are even more wild inventions we have not covered yet. Now tell me in the comments, out of everything in this video, which one would you actually want in your own city? The hidden underground machine nobody can see, the paint that dumps heat into outer space, or the tiny cooler that clips onto your neck? Drop your answer below.